We have here what appears to be an alien invasion.
And the line between civilization and anarchy is eroding as
Out of my way, you punks!
Wow! Lunchtime!
This donut, what do you think of when you see it? I think I know. Spider Pig, 7-Eleven Kwik-E-Mart, real-life Springfield. It's the Simpsons Movie. As if 2007 wasn't already packed with these absolutely colossal commercial events. Seriously, was there any other year with such a constant barrage of gigantic marketing campaigns? We got what we thought would never happen. Summer 07, The Simpsons infected our lives like never before. Real-life squishies, simping yourself with the Simpsonized website, and constant promos everywhere you'd look.
Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does.
The Simpsons Movie, rated PG-13.
Oh yeah, there was also a movie, I guess. It was pretty good. But it felt like the marketing hype itself had a larger impact than anything significant about the actual film. Like, I feel like even if you didn't end up seeing the movie, or if you didn't care about The Simpsons, you knew about Spider Pig, though. You knew about Spider Pig.
What's a good pig? What's a good pig?
This shit was inescapable. A Simpsons movie was coming out and everyone was gonna know about it.
I've got a squishy, a 4 Sprinklicious donuts, a couple of Marge straws, and a 6-pack of Buzz.
Thank you, please come again.
I wasn't alive for the initial wave of Simpsons mania. I was born into a post-Simps world where I already knew who Homer, Marge, Lisa, and Bart and Maggie were before I could even spell my own name. Junko. To me, The Simpsons had always felt like this eternal thing that might as well have been running since the dawn of television. I mean, the show was already heading into its 14th season by the time I'd seen my first few episodes. It was kind of a strange feeling later learning that I had been introduced to a series at a point where it had been long considered past its prime.
Simpson figures and talking sets. You'll love them.
Donuts.
No, the figures. Don't.
You're the man, Homer.
Really, growing up, The Simpsons existed for me more often than not outside their own show. I was exposed to them more through things like the Burger King watches, where Homer says, one year I was Bart for Halloween in this creepy-ass mask. I'd read a bunch of the comics, and the first game I ever got with my PlayStation 2 was Simpsons Hit and Run. That intro would always give me goosebumps with the score and just how cinematic it was, and for the longest time, Hit and Run felt like the closest we'd ever actually get to a Simpsons movie. I mean, the thought was, if there ever was gonna really be one, wouldn't it have already happened by now?
This program is brought to you by Magic the Gathering, the trading card game of strategy and imagination.
Like, how did South Park get one after only 2 years? Or how did a completely different iconic yellow cartoon character that premiered a decade after The Simpsons manage to get one before them? It didn't make any sense. The Simpsons were everywhere. A movie was such a no-brainer idea that it seemed like at this point it would never happen. Or perhaps they were just saving it for the end of the series, something that felt both inevitable and at the same time inconceivable. You'd hear about a Simpsons movie now and then, articles and interviews talking about it would pop up, but I'll believe it when I see it. And sure enough, I eventually did, in the most random-ass place, a DVD of X-Men 3 The Last Stand. Pretty booty movie that had a bonus feature for a sneak peek animatic.
Run! Run! Rest! Rest!
No way was this actually gonna happen. I couldn't believe it. And look at it, it looks so unfinished. Where's all the yellow?
It's a work in progress, so I don't want anyone asking stupid questions like, hey, what happened to the color? Because hey, what happened to the color?
In 2006, hearing July 2007 felt like a world away. Like I'll be long dead by the time I'll see Homie in theaters. You know, by the time the Simpsons movie hype machine was in full swing, it really did feel like an entire lifetime had passed.
A bit of a kerfuffle in Coquitlam this morning.
Ay, caramba!
Gone is the 7-Eleven on this corner with not a single politician on hand. It's being transformed.
I think probably the most well-remembered and unique aspect to the Simpsons movie's marketing was all them 7-Elevens turning into a real-life Kwik-E-Mart and selling Simpsons products. You know, you'd see cool little promos like this every now and then, like when a bunch of Burger Kings started including those big inflatable SpongeBob balloons on the roof, many of which got stolen.
We stole a balloon!
but I don't think we'd ever seen anything on this scale, and done in a way that's just so fun and calls back to the show in such a fitting way. Like, who the hell gives a shit about 7-Eleven and Slurpees? But oh shit, they got Squishies now and Buzz Cola.
Cola. Must get Buzz Cola.
I'm buying Buzz!
People are here, hanging out with Marge and the rest of the crew over here.
The concept behind a lot of the Simpsons movies' marketing was bringing the Simpsons to life like that in some way, making their world a part of ours.
Go! Go!
And part of that was figuring out just which Springfield in the United States was the true Springfield.
We cordially invite all of the Simpsons, Marge, Homer, Bart, Old Diamond, Joe Quimby, Lisa and Maggie and Abe, to join us in Springfield, Massachusetts. Just think, after 400 episodes, you'll even be able to enjoy some real chowder.
Which led to a contest between a bunch of different Springfields to see who could get the most votes, with the winner getting to host the premiere of the movie.
The cast of The Simpsons was warmly welcomed to Springfield, Vermont. Some are calling it the new Hollywood.
Springfield, Vermont, a pretty small town with a population of just 9,000 people, ended up winning, beating out much larger cities of Springfield. I feel like that's just so cute, and it's really in the spirit of The Simpsons that a scrappy underdog town came together to win. Oh, by the way, am I not supposed to have what I want? What I need? Yep, there was the glorious limited edition Simpsons Movie Xbox 360 with only a couple hundred units produced. Oh, and there was also the super interactive Simpsons Movie website, which gave you this interactive tour of Springfield, which later got used as reference for the Springfield sign years later in the Simpsons Family Guy crossover special, hence the MySpace logo. Look at that, the official Simpsons Movie MySpace page. I wonder where all these Simpsons heads in the comments are now. Homer. Movie. Maybe they're still playing a few of the simple, homegrown Simpsons Movie Flash games. Shit like Wrecking Ball, which reuses those nightmarish 3D models of the Simpsons. There's also the Ball of Death, where you drive Homer on a motorcycle to collect donuts and various items. And Bart Simpson's Naked Skate. What a twist of fate. Someone has finally eaten thy shorts.
Ay, caramba!
I think it was really the marketing behind the Simpsons movie more so than the film itself that people tend to cherish today. It felt like such a fun time. It honestly just felt more like a cultural celebration rather than a marketing campaign for a movie.
If you ask me, everybody in this theater is a giant sucker. Especially you!
I know a lot of diehard Simpsons fans are mixed on the movie. Most people, including myself, would probably describe it as, you know, pretty good. And that's kind of the thing. This movie exists in this weird middle ground where it's meant to be the celebration of the show, while also being completely accessible to people who probably only known The Simpsons as a brand more than anything. It's not super self-referential or filled with too many overt callbacks, and the premise itself doesn't feel exactly super out there. It doesn't have the weight you'd expect after all these years waiting for a Simpsons movie. But like, you have to wonder, what does? After hundreds of episodes and years of products and marketing tie-ins, video games, and so much more, there really isn't anywhere The Simpsons haven't gone both within the show and in real life. The big screen kind of felt like that final frontier. The plot is pretty much your typical seedy government agent slash businessman that wants to take over the town and ruin the community trope. I mean, take your pick. Today we'll say it's the Hey Arnold movie. There you go. In turn, while I think a lot of people remember the neat idea of Springfield entrapped in a dome, the villain, Russ Cargill, is completely forgettable. To the point where I think the writers themselves barely knew what to do with him, drastically changing the design and energy to the character after he bombed with test audiences. Like, even the Burger King toys kept his old design because it was switched way too late in the game. I mean, given that he's very similar and also voiced by Albert Brooks, a lot of fans thought it was a pretty big missed opportunity to not just make him Hank Scorpio from the show as planned. But again, you can tell they wanted this movie to be more accessible to everyone, especially those with limited knowledge of the series. Same thing with not making Wolf Castle the president and just going with what now feels like a pretty dated jab at Schwarzenegger's political career, cutting out Sideshow Bob from the angry mob scene, and also making Lisa's love interest, Colin, an entirely brand new character instead of doing something with, say, Milhouse. According to the DVD commentary track, apparently focus groups weren't aware of Milhouse's long-running crush on Lisa. Like, come on, will ya? That's Simpsons 101. Even Drake has a line about it.
I love your ass like Milhouse love Lisa.
But all that aside, I still really like the Simpsons movie. I forgot just how many of these jokes hit. I was surprised by how many lines I still hear people quote that I forgot came from this movie. A lot of the visual gags here are great. I like how cozy Grandpa looks when he's rolled up in that rug. Oh, look at him, he's so cute.
Wait a minute! I'm still in the car! Oh, right.
A lot of the emotional conflict between Homer and the family in the second half doesn't quite hit as hard as you feel it should, but it's serviceable enough it works. You can tell this is all done purposefully to keep things more light. Simpsons Movie feels like something that could have premiered 5 or even 10 years into the show's life, and the fact that it took nearly 20 can kind of make it feel a little underwhelming. It doesn't exactly feel as grand as you'd expect, but honestly, I kind of do enjoy that sort of universal quality about it. I like how simple and rewatchable it is, and how it feels like it could have came out any time in the show's run. You know, perhaps it plays it a little too safe, but I think this approach worked well enough, and instead of going for something way over the top or meta, like one of the original ideas was to have the Simpsons break the fabric of their reality and find out they're in a TV show, which, like, I don't know. I feel like that'd only be interesting for a few minutes, you know? We get it, they'd probably end up on like a talk show or something, I'm good. Instead, the Simpsons movie we got chooses to be more straightforward, lighthearted, and fun. And you know, there was a sort of epic quality to it all when it released, and seeing Springfield and all these characters on a theatrical scale like this. A few months after the Simpsons movie, we also got the Simpsons game that released on almost everything. Yeah, you know, I gotta take a look at those, so stay tuned.
Oh, yeah, when are you gonna make a second Simpsons movie?
And with a Simpsons Movie 2 finally on the way, a sequel that's taken longer than the entirety of the show's existence from when the first film came out, I wonder if they'll even attempt to top that widespread marketing phenomenon. Will we get 7-Eleven Kwik-E-Marts? Will there be Spider-Pig No Way Home? Will the world be thoroughly Simpsonized once again?
Thank you. Please come again.